Hello, everybody. My name is Mervine, and welcome for a new video about a concept that kind of changed my entire workflow, and it's called flow state. Now, in this video, we're going to have a lovely chat, just you and me, and about how to unlock your full potential and your creativity by implementing the flow state in your workflow. Now, what is workflow? Basically, we're going to dive deeper during that video, but basically, it's a mental state of highly focus, right? When you can achieve a lot of things because you're fully dedicated to the task. And it's pretty interesting because when you get into that flow state, you are so dedicated to achieving what you set your mind to that it becomes effortless and you feel in control, right? Now, let's talk about what we're going to go through in that video. In this video, we're going to talk about the power of flow state and how it can greatly contribute to the success of a polymath. If you're on this channel, it means you're interested into that concept. What's a polymath, right? And how do they work different in order to achieve everything? Because as a polymath, you want to do everything. It's possible, it's doable, but it comes with the science, with the technique and habits. So without further ado, let's get into it. So let's dive into it. What is the flow state and how does it work? Okay, especially for a polymath. What's a polymath? Basically, it's someone who has proficient skills in multiple fields. Okay, so it's not a generalist, it's not a specialist. A generalist has skills, not proficient, on different fields. Now, a specialist has highly proficient skills in one field. One field. Now, what a polymath is someone who has proficient skills in multiple fields. So see it as a multi-specialist. Okay. Now, how can flow state be useful to polymath? Now, what is flow state? Let's define it. Maybe you already know, maybe you heard about it. Okay, I'm going to give you one definition here. Flow state is that mental state of highly focus when an individual is fully immersed in an activity or an experience and with the feeling of enjoyment, and becomes effortless and you feel in control. Now, another term that you may hear online is deep focus. It's pretty close, right? It's just different jargon, different depending what your source is. I like both. I see deep focus is great, but flow state to me is it's like you lose your consciousness and you become fully immersed. Just like when you're playing a video game, you're fully immersed in the experience. You can play for 3, 4, 5 hours, even more, without feeling tired, sleepy, thirsty, hungry. You don't feel anything, just fully immersed. Now, it's like time slows down or even stands still. And it's very interesting. It's like you're experiencing some kind of high, right? And this can only be achieved by removing all distractions and self-doubt, right? And that's what we're going to talk about in the next section about the roles of challenge and skills in achieving flow state as a polymath. Now, how can flow state improve your productivity and performance? Performance, that is a word that you hear all the time everywhere. High performance, peak performance, uh, be a high performer. You hear that word, but like, how can you achieve it, right? Being in a flow state is crucial, and it will greatly be beneficial to your achievements, to your endeavors, because when you reach flow state, fully immersed in task, and uh, it's like you work on a different level. You work with joy and fulfillment, and you actually look forward to get to work. Now, that's the only way you can achieve um, great things, and you can achieve what you set your mind to. And that's the only way at the end of the day um, to be satisfied with how your day went, with when you tick off those items on your task list at the end of the day, you know you were able to achieve it because you got into that flow state. You were able to get into to to do deep work in a flow state, and then achieving high performance. And that's the only way you can understand, learn, and retain very uh, different aspects of your work, especially when you're trying to embark on the journey to understand something really complicated, really complex. And as a polymath, since you have multiple skills in different fields, you can approach that problem from different angles, from a multidimensional approach, right? That's what makes a polymath very, very useful. Now, flow state will lead to better quality and will increase your productivity. Because let's say you use that Pomodoro technique, right? You work for 25 minutes, you take a 5-minute break. Good. Now, with time, it took me a few months to master it. But like when you use that technique, may not work for you, may not work. You may have heard that it doesn't work, that it's useless or whatever. It worked like a charm from Pomodoro technique. Now, when you use that, during those 25 minutes, you develop a system, right? You get into the flow state, you work highly focused and on a specific task that challenge that matches your skill sets, right? And trust me, in those 25 minutes, you can achieve way more than anybody would achieve in a 4 or 5 hour work day. It's just crazy how immersed because when you take that 5-minute break, and then when it's time to get back to your work session for the next 25 minutes, you already know what you have to do, what you need to do. I said that twice. Where you need to start, and you pretty much know how long it's going to take you to finish that, I don't know, chapter or slide or PowerPoint or whatever. You know in those 25 minutes exactly what is going to be done and how long it's going to take you. So with time, you will develop a process, like a systemized approach to your cognitive abilities. Cognitive means like your ability to read, learn, retain information, teach it, to take better notes. Cognition, right? It's a key word here. But basically, to sum up this section, like flow state is a mental state of highly focus to help you reach peak performance by being productive and achieving very complex tasks that match your initial skill set. I hope it wasn't too much. Slow it down, take a few minutes to digest, and let's dive into the next section. Now let's take some examples. We're going to take like 2 from the past and 2 modern, contemporary examples of people who were able to achieve flow state in their work and how it led to great achievements. So we're going to talk about some of the polymath person. course. That's what this channel is all about. So the two most famous examples of polymath person are Leonardo da Vinci and Benjamin Franklin. Okay, these two are the most iconic uh, people that we talk about when we mention what a polymath person is. Now, Leonardo da Vinci was known to get into that flow state. Like, he could work for days, weeks, months without distraction, without feeling the need to do anything else than what he was doing. And he was able to develop proficient skills in so many fields. Like, think about it: painting, drawing, architecture, sculpture, so many inventions. And he achieved that mastery level in all these fields. And that's what made him so inspirational. Right? And he was very prolific as well. Prolific means he was constantly delivering work. Okay, like he painted so many before the Mona Lisa became famous, or any of his iconic paintings that we now know are just an like tiny sample of all the work he achieved. There are so many that we will never know about because that's not what they were meant to be. And now, the other example is Benjamin Franklin. He was an inventor, a writer, statesman, and he was prolific as well. He wrote many books, he invented so many things. So the point is, when these polymath people, such as Leonardo da Vinci and Benjamin Franklin, entered flow state in order to achieve something, they didn't do it just for the fun of it. They knew they needed to get into that deep focus state in order to be able to fully focus, to be fully immersed in their work and their experience, because they knew they were on the verge of achieving such highly valuable inventions, books, paintings, drawings, you name it. But these two are the most iconic people when we talk about polymath. Now, when it comes to modern examples, there are many, especially nowadays in the gig economy, in the modern economy, like so many. You can name a few. You get Elon Musk, who is an engineer, like is an entrepreneur, an author. He did so many things, and he keeps on adding up. I feel like Elon Musk is the master of like skill stack, which is it is something that you may have seen like nowadays, like skill stack, and it used to be considered as weird, as too scattered, being all over the place, be a jack of all trades and all that shit. It really pissed me off. Like when people would call me jack of all trades, I used to be so insulted because it's not about because the initial quote is jack of all trades, master of none, but often better than a master of one. Meaning, being a generalist is 10 times way more valuable than being a specialist. Because when you try to solve a problem, especially, let's say, in a marketing firm, you're trying to solve a big problem for a client or something. If you only know about marketing, then you're kind of doomed because you only know one way of doing it. You have only one single approach. But when you're a polymath, you approach from a multidimensional angle and from various angles. So you will have skills in copywriting, storytelling, communication, and everything. So you will find a different solution that most people, most specialists will never be able to understand and to even see those connections. And so enough about this. There will be another video about that. But like some other example, you have the Tim Ferris, the famous author of the book The 4-Hour Work Week, and I love that. I read quite a few times. And he's an author, he's a podcaster, he's a self-experimenter. He wrote martial arts competition. He wrote a dance competition. I think it was tango competition or something like that. This guy has it all, like, especially when it comes to proficient skills in multiple fields. Like, he took it to another level, and he's been doing it for like 10 years. So his skill stacking level must be through the roof. Like, so that's what I wanted to talk about in this section, like some examples of past and modern polymath persons. So let's talk about some strategies you can implement as a polymath to achieve slow state. To me, the most important, I think, is to set clear goals, right? You hear that a lot, goals. But I feel like it's the most important initial thing. You should set goals, right? SMART goals, like SMART, which letter stands for like, specific, measurable, achievable, reachable, I think, and time bound. Meaning, like, what is it? Will you be able to do it? How long it's going to take and everything. So when you have a big goal, let's say you want to learn how to code, you can't just dive in. You got to do your research and then be clear on the different steps you will have to take. And this will give you a proper idea of the time it will take for you to achieve that, learn how to code. Lost myself for a second. Sorry. Now, to achieve that, you need to eliminate all distractions, and it's not just a generic thing to say, because when you're constantly distracted with the cheap dopamine shots, like, social media, messages, notifications, it's just everywhere all the time. Think of it as something that will always be there. Okay? Social medias, YouTube, it's not going anywhere. Okay, so try to implement delayed gratification in your life in general, and especially in your work flow. Because how do you want to achieve great things and being fully immersed, getting into flow state in your work session, if you keep on being interrupted, distracted, getting phone calls, emails, DMs, or whatever? Like, you need to set a plan, right? You need to organize your schedule, break those big goals into smaller chunks on which you work at least just a little bit, just that 1%. You get 1% better each and every day. Man, you will become deadly. And once you become aware of that power, you can achieve it. Now, here's another thing when you're trying to achieve flow state as a polymath, is you need to set aside dedicated time for deep work. It's very important to minimize distraction and to set up your environment. Like, think about it. Take a second. Like, look at your desk right now. Like, what does it look like? Are there anything that can disturb you, distract you during those deep work sessions that you want to achieve? Like, you need to remove all of them. Put your phone. When I was at university and I was studying for midterms and final exams and everything, I would put my phone in a different room in the living room, because I knew that if it would be a temptation. Okay. I know I'm mentally strong, but at the end of the day, we're all human and we're all, attracted to to these things because it's just a cheap dopamine that you need. Sometimes you may like mindlessly scroll just for the sake of it. You don't even know why. You just pick up your phone. You don't even know why. Just start scrolling. And when you realize your potential, when you remove all those distractions that are not there to disturb you in the first place, then you realize how you can achieve that deep focus state much quicker. Because when you keep on repeating that, it becomes a pattern and system. That's how you can systemize your cognitive abilities to focus, to be productive, and to achieve what you set your mind to. Now, another trick that I've been using for quite a few months now, almost a year. Okay, I tried before, trial and error. I tried and I quit, tried and I quit. It's mindfulness. Mindfulness is not just about meditation. It could be walking in nature without headphones, like just listening to noises, the leaves, with the wind and everything. It's just noises that you don't usually hear when you're at work, school, at home. You don't hear those. So it's a different environment and a different pace because you keep on walking, right? You just need to take the time, some time to be alone with your thoughts. And let your imagination run. Let your imagination go crazy, go wild. It will, whether you like it or not. Now, the purpose of mindfulness is to be aware that your imagination is going that way or this way or this way, and to snap and just like regain control. And then, okay, no, I said we're going to focus on that. Your breathing, for example, or maybe the pace, like how fast you walk. Focus on your steps, count your steps if you feel like it. It's just a one way to be present in the moment in what you're doing. Whether you're breathing, you're walking, you're doing something. And this will increase your ability to get into flow state much quicker. So before that, ideally, of course, we all have different lives, different family situations. And before you embark on a deep work session, I would highly recommend you take 5 minutes to breathe, like deep breath. Like see, it's just I instantly feel super relaxed, super chill. Right now, when you implement that for 3, 4, 5 minutes before it gets that blood flow going, and it goes right into your brain, giving it that pump that you need right before you engage into deep work. And trust me, when you do that, first of all, it becomes a routine, becomes part of your routine. Okay, I need to do deep breaths, inhale, exhale, then you get into your work session. You know you're going to have a break soon, and you can relax, stand up, walk a little bit around, or come back to it. You get into that flow state routine. And when you're able to do that, it becomes your system, your routine, your habits, and you become good at it, better at it, you become great at it, you become unstoppable. That's how you can achieve peak performance as a polymath, because you can't expect to learn everything about everything. That's what a polymath does. Um, you can't expect to reach that level of proficiency if you're constantly disturbed, distracted by everything. And if you surrender to your emotions into those cheap dopamine shots that you sadly get from everywhere all the time, all day. So set your mind to maybe just read something about mindfulness and try to implement deep breaths, just a few. Do it like for 1 minute and work your way up to 5 minutes before you to that deep work session. Okay, I think it's time to wrap it up right now. So basically, we saw what flow state is, how it can be implemented in your daily work as a polymath, meaning that you can use flow state to achieve productivity and creativity um, in multiple fields. That's how it can be done by setting up clear goals, breaking them down, and working on them every day, right? And when you do that, you become better at it. When you implement those tips and tricks like deep breath before starting, when you take regular breaks, um, trust me, you will become way more productive, being able to do more in a shorter period of time. Because it's not just about doing more for the sake of doing. It's about doing everything you want to. When you're a polymath, you want to learn about number one, number two, and number three. Like, so just imagine if every single day you could get 1% better on those number one, number two, number three. How deadly would you be in 1 year, even 6 months? You will see great results already. Now, imagine in 1 year, 2 years, where would you be by getting 1% better every day? Now, I really encourage you to tap into that flow state because you need it. When you're a polymath, you need that. You I can't expect to achieve great things as a polymath in multiple fields, in creative fields, if you're not fully immersed in what you're doing. So I hope you learned a lot. And well, this channel is pretty new, so feel free to tell me what you want me to talk about, and I'd be happy to tap into that and do some research. And maybe I know already, but I'd be happy to learn about who are you, where do you live, what you're trying to achieve. Are you a polymath? Did you know what it was before watching this video? So if you like it, click the thumbs up. You know how it works. It's YouTube. I've been on YouTube for years. Subscribe to the channel because I'm going to be posting regularly these topics, and hit the bell if you really want to engage, and if you want to be notified every time I drop a new video. So come back, share those videos, watch them. It's something that I feel good about, that I love to do, that I know about, that I've been experiencing over the past few years, and now the goal is to share with you. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.